It's on! Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, the weekly show in which we talk about what's going on in the world of Disney theme parks and Jeremiah's right thumb. My name is Doobie Mosley. I am the co-founder here of Laughing Place. Off to my left is a teacup, but behind that is my wife, Rebecca. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm doing well, honey.
In the bottom right, coming to us live from halfway across the country, is Michael Celestino.
It's all the way across the country, but I meant to have. We found this DVD. It's like a DVD of the old electrical parade and everything by our friend Jeff from Mouse Steps that my in-laws had bought a decade ago. I just thought it was a funny coincidence.
Okay, but here's the thing. I was like, I wonder, did they buy it from Jeff or did they buy it from us? We used to sell them on behalf of Jeff as well.
Oh,
so
really?
it's like one of those things. So I was like, that'd be funny.
I'm very
curious.
You can
still buy all of his
DVDs
and Blu-rays on eBay.
Does he not sell them directly anymore?
Don't think he has. I don't know. I'll go over and check it out. We can promote him.
And the fourth member of our team, the vice president of no longer being able to hitchhike, is Jeremiah Good. How you doing, Jeremiah?
I can hitchhike.
Anything you'd like to say
about
your...
not able to buy his own shirts anymore.
I know. Anything you want to say about your attire, Jeremiah?
No, my tires are all good. I got them replaced not too long ago. I'd like to thank Roosevelt for this fancy schmancy shirt. They make me look good since a year and a half or so ago.
There you go.
Or that. You don't even want to see him before that. It wasn't pretty. So, all right, we're live here. Hey, Gio, how you doing? If you have any questions, anything you want to talk about from the world of theme parks, we would be happy to talk to you about it. But we're going to first start off with the big First of all, last week, Rebecca did this show under extremely trying circumstances. I wasn't there to help at all.
Wait. Rebecca, Jeremiah, and Mike, because they had to really fill in.
That's true.
I was having so much trouble.
That is a good point. So
I enjoyed Rebecca in the hall of a hotel. That was probably one of my favorite locations.
So thank you, Rebecca, for getting that done last week. And, I know we didn't have the assets like we normally do. I also happen to be watching the numbers on that episode. Maybe we're better when it's just 4 talking heads. That was a popular episode.
Oh, cool. Well, there's a lot going on.
We may be putting too much effort into this show, but we're going to do it the old-fashioned way today. We're going to share assets, and we're going to share the stage. Hey, you don't know what I do before we go live, Jeremiah. I spend 3 days prepping this thing. We're going to start off with what's going on.
That would be on what planet?
On Hong Kong, in Hong Kong, World of Frozen. Our own Luke Manning, who was actually technically born in Hong Kong, is going to be joining us and talking about World of Frozen. How you doing, Luke?
I'm good. that was the introduction I was expecting.
I guess technically you weren't born in Hong Kong, so correction. Go ahead.
Also, I feel like Jeremiah exclusively is good at hitchhiking now. Like, that's probably the best thing he can do right now.
You get thumbs up or hitchhiking. That's about what I can do.
All right, Luke. So you got to go to Hong Kong not too long ago. Tell us why.
I did. It feels like forever ago, and also just a couple of days ago. So I was at Hong Kong Disneyland last week on behalf of thanks to an invite from Disney for a media 3-day extravaganza celebrating the opening of World of Frozen, which is their brand new land at the park. And it just officially opened today, November 20th, which is crazy because they had all of the grand opening ceremonies and everything while I was there last week. But today was the first day that anyone and everyone could come on in. This is a truly stunning area in addition to the park. For those of you familiar with Hong Kong Disneyland, it is accessed from behind Dumbo in Fantasyland. And the other way you can get into the land is from It's a Small World. And it's split into 2 sections. There's the village section, which we're looking at right now on the screen. And then there's also the forest section. So the village section has like you can see right now on the screen, Northern Delights, which is which is like their confectionery. It has the Golden Crocus Inn, which I think we're about to pan towards, which is the main quick service establishment in the area. And then all the way at the back there, inside that clock tower, is their version of Frozen Ever After, which is almost identical to Epcot's, but there's a lot of elements in it that are kind of fleshed out. The ride has a lot more space to breathe. And interestingly, I didn't even realize this while riding it, but it is actually 1.5 minutes longer than Epcot's version, even though it doesn't actually have any different scenes. It's just, for example, when you're going from the Olaf scene at the beginning to the troll scene, there's just, an extra 20 feet of space between the two, and there's a lot more transition space between different scenes, and it also feels as if the boats move a little bit slower, except for the drops. Those drops are zippy. They are probably the zippiest drops I felt on a ride like this. Definitely feels more like something on Splash Mountain than Pirates of the Caribbean or even the other Frozen Ever After.
Okay, so are there just two new attractions or three?
Well, two rides and one show / meet and greet experience. So in addition to Frozen Ever After, the other attraction is Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs, which is quite the mouthful to try and say all at once.
Is it longer to say than it is to ride?
Absolutely. But this is one to not necessarily judge by its length. Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs fills the need that park has for a coaster kind of on the level of Gadget's Go Coaster, or like the Barnstormer. It's that same kind of level, but the theming is top notch, high and above that. As you can see right now, perfectly timed up on the screen. One of my favorite elements of it is just the view, the panoramic view, and you'll see that here. You can see the Castle of Magical Dreams off in the distance, and then you just get great views of the rest of the world of Frozen from here. And it's actually a little zippy. Some of those turns pull a little bit of G-forces, so it's a short ride, but what it does do, it does well.
And we're showing you just how short a ride it is, because right about now, it's over.
Yep. Very short ride. So definitely I saw some wait times from today, from the opening day, and I saw that this was posted at like 80 minutes at one point. Definitely not something I would recommend waiting 80 minutes for, but if you can wait like half an hour or less for it, it's a worthwhile experience.
And then what was the third attraction?
Yeah, the third attraction is called Playhouse in the Woods. And the best way to describe it is sort of like the Frozen version of Enchanted Tales with Belle at the Magic Kingdom. So you walk into this room and you're immediately greeted by Anna, and she's telling you, come on in. And what the Playhouse is this place that her Anna and Elsa's parents created for Elsa as a kid, as sort of like a way to for her to express herself without getting the secret out there. So Anna and Olaf, who is a puppet, they welcome Elsa out onto the stage, and then Elsa does some of her magic to kind of show off what different spirit each guest is. So the guests are invited to walk around to the different statues in the room and stand by it to kind of see what their spirit is. It's a very cute, well done show. It happens every 15 minutes, so you get a lot of people going through it. So it's a nice, fun way to get an interaction with Anna and Elsa in.
Awesome. The World of Frozen opens today, so if you are in the Hong Kong area and watching us, turn it off and get over there, get in line, go check it out.
You'd be asleep at this point.
No, you'd be waking up. Hong Kong's
we just did this
8 a.m. right now.
Any other thoughts on World of Frozen or Hong Kong Disneyland in general, Luke? As your first visit there, I know, and you're kind of a theme park aficionado.
Yeah. It was a great time. I really enjoyed getting to experience Hong Kong. It's one of those things that you don't necessarily. It's always been on my bucket list as something I've wanted to do, and the fact that it's happened is still something I can't really come to terms with. But yeah, World of Frozen is really well done. It's really beautiful. This is one of the, one of my favorite tidbits was that, because we had the chance to do a tour with a couple of different Imagineers, and we have a full video of that up on our YouTube channel. But one of my favorite tidbits from that was the fact that this was one of the first lands that Disney's designed to kind of shy away from having a berm where they ignore the outside land, and rather use what nature has provided to make the experience better. So behind Hong Kong Disneyland, of course, you have those giant Lantau Mountains, and they kind of worked in that into the design. So like when they were designing the castle and the mountain that takes up Wandering Oak and Sliding Sleighs, they had the Lantau Mountains in the 3D design renderings to make sure that they kind of worked off each other. So they really put a lot of thought into just the general feel of it. And it is probably the most beautiful area of Hong Kong Disneyland. Now, it's not my favorite attraction at Hong Kong Disneyland. That goes to Mystic Manor. But yeah, no, it's really well done, and I would definitely recommend it. And there's more Frozen coming too, because a similar World of Frozen is coming to Walt Disney Studios at Disneyland Paris in a couple of years, and then there's going to be a completely different Frozen experience at Tokyo Disney Sea just next year. So a lot of Frozen love coming to the Disney parks.
Feeling so left out here in the U.S. Anyone else want to ask Luke anything about Hong Kong Disneyland before we let you go?
There was a Olaf in that show. Was that a puppet or was that an animatronic?
I believe it was a puppet. It may have had like animatronic elements to it, but it seemed like just a general kind of puppet.
Okay.
In the show, yeah.
Looked cool.
Doobie, I was going to say, Doobie, you need to bring up Todd's comment before
he's
it
very
explodes.
concerned. That's an important question. Is there a sauna?
So there is a sauna. It's not obviously an actual sauna that you can go into. That would have been fun. But it
Not
is
in
the same
Hong
sort
Kong.
of it's the same sort of experience as you get in the Frozen Ever After queue at Epcot, where you go past Wandering Oaken's sauna and he pops up through the window every few seconds. But instead, because Oaken has his own attraction in the World of Frozen, the sauna is located in the queue for Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs instead of Frozen Ever After.
We had a question from SD Easley. How's the merchandise?
The merchandise is pretty great, as you can see. I did a walk through some of the main store, which is called TikTok Toys and Collectibles. It serves as the exit store for Frozen Ever After. But yeah, they've got a lot of cool stuff. Pins. Right here, you're looking at different postcards, which you can actually send free of charge to using a mailbox just off the side.
Wait, is that Marshmallows a hat?
I think so. Yeah, they have a lot of
Go back,
like
Doobie.
cute hats and headbands as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that looks like exactly what it was, Jeremiah.
They have a headband with snow geese as well. They have
You asked me to go back.
now it's not working.
It's okay.
But yeah,
So,
they've got a lot of merchandise. So we have a full tour of the merchandise up on our YouTube, as well as an interview with the director of merchandise at Hong Kong Disneyland, Mary Lamb.
wow. So tons of coverage of World of Frozen on Laughing Place, on YouTube. Luke working solo did a spectacular job out there. Really impressive, Luke.
That was the whole reason Luke was there. So Luke wanted to make sure that Luke got as much as Luke could.
Now you're still on probation. Has this gotten you past the probationary period here?
If I'm still on probation, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Well, thanks so much for joining us this
Of
morning.
course.
I'm sorry, this afternoon. And also, thank you for joining us this morning on the morning show to essentially give the same presentation twice, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think it's almost time for you to go home. Thanks again. Luke Manning, everybody. Luke Manning.
Check it out,
Yes.
Jeremiah. See?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right
And
now.
when you,
It's like-
I think when you squeeze or pull on the little arms go, "Wah!"
That's like the ones they used to have in Tokyo back in the day. So the nice thing is it doesn't say, Hong Kong Disneyland. So this merch will be at Epcot in like a week.
I don't know. It says it's labeled exclusive. So we'll see.
Which it is.
Its way.
Yeah.
You'll let us know, Jeremiah. All right, the next item up for bid here on today's episode of DTL, of Disney Parks.
Wow.
Is the Beast Library is closing. This dropped last week. The huge news that one of the original attractions at Disney California Adventure is actually going to be saying goodbye forever. Its last day of operation is December 10th. Mike, you being our Southern California correspondent, can you give us your most treasured memory from the Beast Library?
Now, have they said whether the rooms that lead up to Beast Library are also going to be closing those like animator?
No, the animator room is supposed to still be there. It's just
That's
like
dang it.
what they did with the Ursula. It's just they're closing it off for now, and
Okay.
apparently that's going to become blue sky.
All right. Well, as far as Beast Library goes, I think I've been back there maybe 5 times ever. It's very nice. It's very charming. It is hidden away, which is cool. But I just don't have a lot of call to go back there.
Well, now you do.
I guess so. Yeah. I did participate in Tony's engagement, which took place in the room before it. But other than that, by participate, I mean shoot video of. But yeah, no, I don't know. It doesn't really affect me that much. I'm sad that people are sad about it.
I heard the line today was all the way up to where there used to be the former turnstile that you would head down when you do that area. So,
Mhm.
and that's just to take your personality test as a character or watch the Beast throw a fit and transform his library into something.
One of the key questions
Exactly.
in determining what they would ask you questions, and it would be like A or B. One of them was, do you prefer to eat lunch with nice people or eat nice people for lunch?
Yeah, I wish I would have the chance to do that one more time. I'm honestly not sure I've ever done that other than my first time at DCA.
You have.
When I was checking out.
They had it here in Disney World for a while at the animation. and
Right.
they had it, I want to say they still have it in Paris. I think I remember seeing that recently. So don't worry, you can find out if you're Hopper or characters that nobody else remembers.
Wish is coming out on Wednesday, Disney's newest animated feature. And to celebrate, a new pre-show has been added to World of Color, Season of Light, the holiday version of World of Color. So you can go check that out. I don't think we have video of it yet. I'm not even sure if it's playing yet.
It started on Friday.
Yep, started on Friday. But
Couldn't get a reservation, sadly.
But it'll be there for a while, so we'll get it. And I'm sure there are other places that have it up already. But that's one of the. I'm not a huge fan of World of Color, but one thing I absolutely love about it is how much they do make changes to it for things like this. Yay, Disney!
Hey, breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Elephants don't
Oh,
smell.
not your screen, my screen. Look, it has a sponsor. Look at that.
Scentsy.
Scentsy.
Remember, it seems like everybody forgot. Like, what was it? A year ago, they were going to put in this Smellephants,
Yeah.
and then
We
they
didn't
just
forget.
never did.
We
I know.
haven't
I'm saying
yet.
everybody
we
on
have to
social media has been like, "Oh my God, there's something changed." It's like, yeah, bring me this Smellephant so I can walk up and go.
They're not here yet. They're coming.
smells
This is
like
the
peanuts.
This is a first step, and soon we will get popcorn, I hope, smelling stuff. Yeah, just in case you did forget, like Jeremiah thinks you did. here's the concept art that was put out there. But Scentsy on their Facebook page as I recall, got all excited and shared that, and so we reported it on Laughing Place.
That is very exciting. I will admit.
I am excited.
Yeah. Disney California Adventure, San Francisco has been open for a while. Rebecca went down there. She ate all the food, but I got to go into DCA last week and noticed, thanks to a tip from Rebecca, that San Francisco Port of Sign has arrived. It's beautiful. It's even more beautiful in person, the way it reflects off the water. I got to say, having seen this in person now, San Francisco is much more impressive than I expected, just having, seen pictures and heard about it. Walking around there, it's pretty beautiful. The bridge itself, first I thought it was going to be huge, and then I heard it's actually not that big. When you're standing there, it's pretty darn big. The bridge itself is quite impressive. So I love what they've done with San Francisco. There, Doobie said it.
Did it have its programming done yet, or was it static when you saw it? Because it's now, I've seen video in since the first couple of days, and it now does a little reveal, Port of San Francisco, and then disappears.
When I was there, it just was Port of San Francisco, or I would have gotten a video.
So now it has a nice little reveal. So it's pretty
even
cool.
better. I feel like it's almost like Disney cares about the details. Also,
eventually.
Mike. Earn that, Mike. Wow. Candy canes. Who here likes candy canes? You do?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not a big fan, but some people are. And they like them fresh and hot. And Disneyland, I think most of them are Instagrammers, but Disneyland Resort makes their day by having fresh, hot candy canes available each year. And this year, they've announced the dates. They're not hot?
No, they're not hot.
Are you sure?
They have to cool. If they were hot, you'd pick it up and just be like, oh.
Right. Fresh candy canes, formerly hot. Formerly hot candy canes.
What exactly makes a fresh candy cane, though?
Starting December 3rd at Disneyland, December 4th at Trolley Treats at California Adventure. Use the app to get on the wait list. These are always popular. And fresh candy canes, they become a thing. They became a thing like 5 years ago.
No, they've been a thing for longer than that, Doobie.
I don't think anyone cared more than 5 years ago.
There used to. I remember before I moved, which is now almost 11 years ago, that there would be it would sneak out because they wouldn't say anything on social media, and there would be lines outside waiting to rush in to buy a candy cane or three, and then they'd be all over eBay and.
Gio wishes that they would do that at Magic Kingdom as well. New restaurant has opened at the Disneyland Resort, the Great Maple Place. Rebecca, we got to kind of see a little bit of it.
We did?
I mean, from the outside and looking through the window.
The one over at the Pixar Pier Hotel.
Yes.
The Great Maple. This is a current chain. But it is now over at the hotel. The menu looked really good. I wish I could recall one of the items that really popped out to me, and I'm gonna have to pull it up because it sounded so good. I'm like, I want to eat that.
And this is the old PCH Grill area?
Yep.
Wow.
That's exactly. Before that, it was Summer Tree. Then it was PCH Grill. It seems to be kind of a breakfast all day kind of place. That's what that portion of its menu seems to be, kind of signature portion. But they also have the sandwiches and salads and that kind of stuff as well. But I got excited because I love chilaquiles, and that was on the menu. But what I thought Doobie would love is they have a vegan twist on the BLT. So it's maple chili portobello bacon, right? That's what they call it, a bake-on, made of portobello mushroom with arugula, tomato, a vegan cheddar with smashed avocado on a toasted bread. Sounds so like something you would love to try. So I
agree. There's a lot on that menu that sounds good, namely.
And they have beignets. They have beignets there. They have donuts there. French toast, ribeye hash. That sounds really good. So
I-
yeah, so there are a few items I was like, I want to try.
So you can throw up the seagull if you want to. I just don't understand why they would put this in there when that was a character meal that was pretty popular. And then
Well, if it's the chain, then maybe the chain decided to pay up.
yeah. Is that
Well,
a California company at least?
that one's always struggled. The other venues that they have are in San Diego and Newport. I want to say San Diego. So I don't mean chain like as in there's hundreds across the nation.
No, there's a couple. Yeah. No, but it just I feel like that's I guess it's unique enough. It's very unique.
No, but I think that's a more popular dynamic, especially at a hotel, to have an to have a familiar established restaurateur kind of there. You see it often, and I'm seeing it more. I feel like I'm seeing it more and more. Maybe no. I don't pay that much attention, but maybe.
Yeah, no, I know, Kyle. I know it's been closed forever, but I'm just saying, if you're going to turn it into what will probably be a very popular hotel, to not keep that as a character location or.
I'm more surprised and disappointed even that they are. We went to the future Pixar Place Hotel in our last trip a week ago and walked around it. It was nicer than I expected. They put a decent amount of effort into it. And so I'm a little disappointed that the restaurant, I won't say it has no Pixar theming because we did see that they had some like artwork inside, but that it's not heavily Pixar themed. That it's
because that's what I was going to say. I don't know Jeremiah because they have huge Disney art inside. So I mean, they have Buzz and Jessie were inside the restaurant. So I'm not even sure exactly what the dynamics will be of it. It just opened. So
yeah, they could still do characters.
By the way, and the Great Maple is also operating that lobby area, grab and go coffee house type location that is
strange like that.
So,
I feel like that's a kind of a out of left field. Starbucks, yeah, Joffrey's, yeah, but a company that has a couple of locations that they bring in. I mean, I'm all for trying something new, and I've seen the menu and it looks amazing. But
Anaheim, Newport Beach, Pasadena, San Diego, so they seem to be just kind of a Southern California. I would say tourism.
Because this is the first Disneyland Resort dining location to be at least obviously outsourced, correct?
DCA.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant to say Disneyland Resort Hotel.
Oh, hotel. Maybe I can't. Yeah. Well, I mean, before, because Disneyland Hotel, weren't those before not under the Disney?
Yeah, out in the lobby or out in the buildings, they used to have other.
You used to have outside.
But no, I completely see what you mean, Doobie. And yeah, I think this is the first hey, this is run by XYZ or Maple Company.
I'm not saying good or bad. It's just interesting. I do think it's noteworthy. So I have noted it.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're right.
Worthy.
I'm gonna have to think on that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, like the coffee place by Goofy's Kitchen, that might be for all I know. But I mean, obviously, this is a brand that exists outside of the hotels.
No, but I mean, things like before with Villa Verde.
I agree with you. There definitely may have been, because Disney didn't even own the hotel back then. But certainly, since Disney has taken over the hotels and made changes, I don't believe that's been the case.
Yeah.
Certainly before Disneyland. There was a Rather Corporation back then.
Yeah, well, and to be not only that, but the thing that kind of caught my eye is it's not blank operated by. For example, when DCA opened, it was Avalon Cove operated by Wolfgang Puck. It wasn't Wolfgang Puck's, inside Avalon. So that's what I found kind of interesting with it. That it is a Great Maple. That is a known brand that, out there and just kind of within the hotel.
Right. Okay, one more Disneyland Resort.
By the way, the other thing we noticed, Doobie, was those fire pits are smaller than they seem in video.
They do. They are. And I think they're pretty cute.
They're quaint.
They're quaint. And the pool was nice. I really like the Pixar Place
Yeah.
Hotel. I really, really did.
Yeah.
Rebecca, you discovered this. I'll let you talk about it a little bit. At the
Okay.
Disneyland Hotel.
Oh man, we missed this by a day. The day we were leaving, my Twitter, the artist here, I want to say Hayden Evans, tweeted, fun stuff coming this morning when you wake up. And I was like, oh no, and I'm getting on an airplane. And then the next day, these all popped up. But how beautiful is this? Kind of reaching into that Winter Wonderland sequence from, I want to say Make Mine Music, but it might be the other one. But I'm fancy free, but I think it's Make Mine Music. But no, just I love this mid-century look.
The fact that they changed up the sign is amazing.
I would like buy stuff with this if there's the way he did the entrance carpeting into the lobby. I would take that I imagine that as a blanket. Oh man, yeah, it's all really beautiful.
And
I love it.
They change up the stuff for Halloween with the Haunted Mansion, and every now and then, like they changed it up for the 100th. But this is, even the carpet changes.
Look at that.
This is so pretty. This is so pretty.
Love that.
That is a new level for them right there.
I'm loving it.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I knew you were gonna do that.
How could you not do that?
And we're shut down. Thanks,
No,
McDonald.
I'm appreciative that the artist team behind this shared that on Twitter, because you can't get to the resort every single day, so it was nice to wake up to that and get to see it, so appreciate it.
So let us now leave the Disneyland resort, but stay in Southern California as Mike Celestino tells us what's going on just 10 miles down the road.
Yeah, so instead of being at Disneyland for Life Day and for the new World of Color intro, I was over at Knott's Berry Farm, but no complaints. Had a really great day for the opening day of Knott's Berry Farm.
I'm not bitter.
I'm not. No, it was a wonderful, fun day for Knott's Berry Farm 2023. I saw all the shows, looked at I got a nice tour of the food and the merchandise. And the atmosphere of the park is really nice this time of year. You guys saw it last year. The decor is just wonderful. Yeah, sorry, Sarah. I just kind of waited too long to get reservations for that. Didn't work out. And usually the reservations will pop up the night before, but it just didn't this time. I guess it was too popular. But yeah, the shows are all really solid at Knott's Berry Farm this year. That there's a ice skating show. There's a big outdoor show called Home for the Holidays. It's got a lot of dancing and singing. There's the new Calico Christmas Carol show in the Birdcage Theater, and that is like a twist on the Charles Dickens story, but it takes place in Calico, the ghost town setting. Yeah, this is from the Snoopy ice skating show, which is always really good. I think this is the new version that debuted last year.
Oh, we saw it.
Did you get any of the Sad-Eye Joe prizes from the games?
I didn't, but it's in the merch video. You can see those new prizes.
Yeah, I love the 3 different Sad-Eye Joes. Pretty much, you just pay $20. You can play a game, or you can say, "Just give me this thing." And the Woodstock is cute. I love how they're doing every event. They're doing a new Woodstock floater, and those are fun.
Right, and there's I got a hint that there might be another one for the Boysenberry Festival in the spring.
I want the 12 Days of Christmas seasonal beer collection. Oh man!
It's good that they got the lanterns working, and now they shoot bubbles.
Yeah, so they were talking about how these bubble wands interact with each other. Like you can control your friends. I don't know what good that is, but
your friend's bubble wand, not your friend.
Remember the camera from Legoland that I showed when they had one of the last events, where it's kind of like you compete? It's that technology, but it's really fun. You can mess with your friends and your not friends as you're walking through. Not friends.
So, Mike, Disneyland Resort obviously gets all the hype, but give this 30-second pitch of why people should take a break and check out Knott's for the holidays.
I call Knott's kind of Disneyland's quaint little brother, even though it's technically been around longer. I don't know if you just want to get the feel of like a a more chill, I guess, theme park that doesn't have quite the hustle and bustle of Disneyland, and it just feels a little bit more local and homegrown, that kind of thing. I recommend Knott's. It has some great theming. They've added a lot of really neat stuff in recent years, and it's also got a lot of roller coasters if you're into like the thrill element of theme parks. But you know, I remember like 15 years ago, I heard that Knott's was like coasting by on the money that they made for Not Scary Farm. So like most people knew it from the Halloween season, but just in that period of time, they've really spread to all the whole year round. They have a different special event going on each season. So I think they've really done a great job in like expanding the visibility to all these different times of year. And Merry Farm is a big part of that. They really did up the park really well for this season as well.
Good job, Six Flags. Excellent job.
Yeah, now they are merged with Six Flags. Who knows
No,
what they're-
I'm actually, when I next visit, I'm taking a day to go to Knott's just because Merry Farm is such a fun place.
Yeah.
And you know, the craft tables and everything they have is just, it's so nice in there. And you're right, it isn't hustle and bustle, and it's like what Disneyland used to be back in the day of
Yeah.
you can go in and enjoy the holidays, not
Remember that.
can't enjoy.
Remember that well. All right, back at Walt, or not back, but over at Walt Disney World, Jeremiah's stomping grounds. The Christmas tree stroll has opened at Disney Springs. Did you get those pictures for us?
I did not. That was actually Marshall, but I did go walking through there today. They've added in some new Christmas trees, which are nice.
Here's my favorite. Here's my favorite Christmas tree ever. The Disney treasure.
This started a handful of years ago, kind of as just something to do at Disney Springs. Like I was lucky enough to interview the people that put it together, and they came up with the idea in a matter of weeks. And they said, go into the holiday area and just grab stuff and make Christmas trees with somewhat of a theme. And that was when it was just a little walkthrough that used to be the old bus depot over by the marketplace. And then pandemic time, when they needed more space, they expanded it out so it's actually a Christmas tree hunt, and you can walk from West Side all the way to the marketplace and see different trees. Some of them even interact with your Magic Band Plus, so that's a fun thing to do. But it's a great way to spend the day if you're not in the parks, just exploring Disney Springs and seeing. Some of these just are so beautiful. Some of them are the same ones that have been there for now 5 years, but they always continue to add in new things. And once you complete the Christmas tree stroll, which is complimentary, you can also get a button that says you completed it. And if you hang around for the afternoon, you can always talk with our good friend Douglas Fir.
I'm excited to meet. You know, this existed before. I mean, this is great. Not taking anything away from Disney Springs. I love that they do this, but I'm old enough to remember when they essentially did the same thing in Animal Kingdom and Cat Minnie Mickey.
Yep.
So it's funny to hear it talked about as, hey, I've got this idea. You did this. It's been done.
Yeah. No, the first year that they did it, we had a tour of the holiday, and they talked about how they came up with just kind of the concept of, hey, let's have Christmas trees in the area. And they told them, okay, you have X amount of time. They went into the holiday warehouse and just put together trees that kind of looked like somewhat of a theme. I mean, we could go back and look at the pictures. The comparison of the original trees to now are night and day, but they also talked about how they wanted to put specific ornaments in the trees that you could purchase at the shops, but they didn't have time. And now that is one of the big things, is most everything that are in the trees you can purchase at one shop or 12.
And you mentioned Douglas Fir. We don't have him yet to show, but go ahead, Rebecca.
No, go ahead.
Just real quick, who is Douglas Fir?
Douglas Fir, we talked about last week. He is our new strolling Christmas tree in training. He strolls around, I believe on the weekdays he's 4 to 8, and on the weekends he's 2 to 8. Great interaction, lots of fun, and you can find him almost anywhere in Disney Springs. Just a strolling tree trying to help bring merriment, and well, hear what he says here. Hi, I'm Douglas Fir. How are you? I'm good. What are you doing here? I'm spreading merriment. Okay, thanks. Bye, Jeremiah. Bye, Douglas. It's actually better than what I did it than what it sounded like, because I sounded like a complete doof on there.
I was
You had me for a few seconds, actually.
Because me doing this is so normal. Hi, I'm Douglas. Hi, Doobie.
Okay, stop now.
Gio's looking forward to meeting Douglas. So hopefully, can I just whine for a moment? It has been way too many years since we said farewell to the lights of Disney Hollywood Studios, and I still miss them.
Well,
I used
saw
to
them.
giggle.
You guys
I
saw
used
them
to
already.
I used to giggle at like the love and affection for Lights of Winter because I don't understand that one. And I was like, but that's gone so many years ago. How is it you still? No, seriously, this time of year, I still just can't believe that it isn't there. That there hasn't something similar hasn't popped up somewhere. And especially now with the like addressable LED thing that they can do now. Oh man, that canopy. What they could do in that canopy now, oh man, it hurts.
Nobody cares about those stupid doves that were there.
Shut up, Jeremiah. Those are beautiful.
Oh, you're talking about those. Oh, over at Epcot, yeah. Doobie and his obsession with the Epcot holiday doves. But yeah, no, I miss the Osborne dancing.
Sorry, Doobie. Sorry, you like the doves.
I can't believe that we haven't seen something like it pop up somewhere, somehow. I really thought we'd see something. And so I am petitioning for a light boat parade over at Disney Springs.
How about we just get drones at this point, please?
I need more twinkle.
Speaking of drones, let me do two really quick items, and then we're going to go to Jeremiah to kind of take over for a bit. Summer House at Disney Springs, they have taken down some walls. This opens, that's not it. Opens later this year. So wanted to mention that. And another location, this one excites me because I'm a big Indian food fan.
Yeah.
And this is Eat. And this is coming to Disney Springs.
Within days. I think both of them, they both said, late 2023. I don't know. I mean, Eat looks like it's completely ready. And when I did the Summer House the other day, walked by it, they were putting finishing touches. So I would guess within hopefully next week. I mean, we don't know any official dates, but it does seem like it's going pretty quickly.
Right. So you mentioned drones a moment ago. So Jeremiah, you were at IAAPA last week. You want to talk about that for a moment? I will be right back.
Yeah. I was at IAAPA last week. For those of you who don't know, IAAPA is pretty much the Comic-Con for theme park. Not really. IAAPA is a convention that talks about mechanics, coasters,
it's all the elements of themed entertainment, from ride vehicles to what kind of cups you drink out of, pretty much all the different aspects of themed entertainment, theme parks, whatnot.
Where Avatar could show up, exactly. So I was over there, and we have some videos of reveals of ride vehicles for different parks, including SeaWorld and Silverado City on our YouTube. And then the big event was Sky Elements drones setting a new world record previously held by them of the most drones, and it was 1,600 drones used in a flag and for a logo. And it was just them going, hey, we're going to beat our old record, because it's hard to, there aren't a lot of companies that are like, I'm going to make a flag out of drones. But it was a beautiful show. We have that up on our Facebook, on our YouTube and our Instagram. with the dragon and the knight. There's this astronaut scene, and it's just the drones. It's not a Disney drone show or Universal where there's the music and everything. It is them just showing off the technology. But it was lots of fun to head over there. I got to see Mike's former boss, Ricky. He was out for a little while.
Oh, nice.
So I got to hang out with him in the rain, waiting for the beautiful drones to take off. And it was very impressive. I've seen drones. I saw the original Disney Springs show, which this puts to shame.
Wow.
Yeah. It was just so cool.
That's pretty sweet.
And just sitting there watching it take off. And the nice thing was, it was right across from the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. Everybody kept yelling, "It's not in Orange County." There's more than just one Orange County, people. But they had this large empty space that is going to be taken up by different Universal things. And it was, you walked out your front door, it was across the street from you up in the sky. So it was a beautiful show. And there's the flag. Don't try to count all the drones. We did not. There's the astronaut, the space station.
Amazing by Sky Elements.
And Disneyland Paris is getting a drone show in January, which kind of has parades, kind of a parade in the sky for the electrical parade. That looks so awesome.
And I was about to say, have you watched the video of that, Doobie? The making of video, because they actually have Elliot coming down, and it looks like the lights of winter. He's coming down the archway. The electric parade in the sky kicks off on January 8th, and then the parade and the rest of everything for the Symphony of Color.
Splashes of Color. No, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Kicks off in February, but yeah, the drone show. I mean, you can go and watch the drone show from last year. Even the Marvel drone show is probably one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. And this drone show, they talk about how it's going to be, again, electric parade in the sky, but it's going to be drones and pyro working together. So they have the Captain Hook's pirate galleon flying, and just what you see is the drones, and it looks like the pixie dust coming off the back of it. That's going to be the pyro, so it'll work in tandem.
Nice.
What could Steven Davison do now with all this technology?
And yes, Gio, they did use drones, which is very impressive in Hong Kong for the opening of Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
We get a rock. Universal Studios Orlando has kicked off Christmas. Jeremiah, just before the show, was waxing poetic about how spectacular it looks this year.
It is. No matter what, they do an amazing job. They're How the Grinch Stole Christmas show. I mean, I'm sure Mike agrees. The Hollywood version is always great, but we get it multiple times a day here without the cool narrators. But it's in the old Blue Man Group theater, so it's air conditioned. It's very nice. The show is hilarious. Especially, it's a lot like watching Aladdin. The Grinch steals the show. Their parade is almost fully up on our YouTube. We had to cut it down because where they had us, there was a backup. So what should be about a 25-minute parade lasted about almost 40 minutes. But it's a fun parade. It pays tribute to Madagascar, Shrek, Santa, and
Macy's, right?
Yes, the Macy's balloons are featured. And then over at Islands of Adventure, of course, the lights on Hogwarts Castle go. And this year they actually put us on the bridge, which is a view I'd never watched it from. Usually we're in Hogsmeade Village. And standing out on the bridge, it's just a beautiful view.
Oh, cool. So that's Universal Studios. Orlando holidays already underway. Do you know if they're underway in California yet, Mike?
I don't know. I'm going on Tuesday next week, so I'm not sure if that's started yet.
November 24th. So it starts on Friday, it sounds like.
Okay.
Is when we officially kick off here in California. And Mike will be covering that for us early next week. So we'll have, of course, all the parade and not parade. I don't think they have a parade, but whatever they do have, we will have.
You will have a different angle of the same lights on Hogwarts.
But they're different. They're in California.
And he may get a drone show.
Let's see. Mossy the Troll is in Hong Kong. Have you guys seen Mossy the Troll? This guy, he looks so cute.
I know.
He's
the first
cute?
theme park character since Figment. It's so amazing.
The joke that never stops giving. So sorry, Luke, I forgot to mention this while you were on. We were talking Hong Kong Disneyland, but there he is. Rebecca, you want to show off?
Oh, I was just going to say, last week, Jeremiah shared what it was like to go to the first of the Jollywood Nights and some of the ways that they we thought that perhaps, like we've seen with other events, that Disney might make changes. And sure enough, Santa Duffy, he made an appearance on that second presentation of the Jollywood Nights. So, and I felt like a lot of the discussion coming out of that was far more positive than had been with the previous one. Some of the particular frustrations that people had seem to have been like getting in. I know a lot of people had a challenge like just getting in. That seemed to have been smoothed out with the second one. So I'm very interested to see kind of how this event evolves moving forward. I believe you have a ticket to another one upcoming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my roommates were actually there for the one last night. The previous one, and they said that the food lines were quite manageable, but it was there still wasn't a lot to do, even with the lines. They said that they got into Brown Derby pretty quickly later in the evening, which was a challenge a lot of people were experiencing. They did add in a second piano player in Brown Derby to kind of smooth that over. Not only did they have Santa Duffy, they had Santa Stitch, they had Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket. I heard Snow White was there. So they had a lot of characters added to it, which is something that was needed, but at the same time, there wasn't, other than the social media around the Santa Duffy, I had to go searching to see what other characters were there. They enjoyed the shows. They said that they didn't have much of a wait for any of the food. So it will be interesting to see. I mean, it is still just the 3 nights are sold out. So we'll see how it goes in the future, if this turnaround helps, or if, hopefully we don't have to just light magic it.
Well, I know that some of the people I know who were excited to go, the addition of the more character meet and greets was very positively met, because part of the pull for them was a night of elegance and kind of dress up and enjoy the ambiance of the park and the environment of the park. And so adding more meet and greets, I think, will only just kind of further satisfy that aspect of demand regarding, kind of what brought people to the event in the first place. So I'm, like I say, I was excited to see some of these changes happen after some of the feedback we saw out there on socials after night one, and who knows, we'll see how this event goes in the moving forward over the next few weeks, especially sold out nights.
Disney Cruise Line news. Always got to include that. There's a new Disney Cruise Line port. So if those of you who've cruised Disney out of Port Canaveral know their terminal there is specifically for Disney. It's themed to Disney. And if you've cruised Disney out of any other ports, you've known that it's just a generic building that maybe they put a little bit of a core in, but it's definitely not Disney's cruise terminal. Well, they've created their second cruise terminal, Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. And here's a look at it. I'm so excited. I love Port Canaveral's terminal, and this is quite pretty. So,
Aww.
Yay.
Wow.
Excited about this, and this is how you're supposed to enter a Disney cruise ship. So, yay. Very happy about that. I wanted to talk just a little bit about one of the reasons I was down in Southern California last week. I got to attend the Disney Experience. Okay, Disney Experiences West Coast Service Celebration. So Disney Experience Parks, Experience, and Products. That's a major division of Disney. The people on the West Coast had their service celebration last Monday. Service celebrations are for people that have at least 10 years of experience, and then on the 5, so 10, 15, 20, etc. They're invited to come out to, in this case, to the California Adventure, completely free, tons of food, tons of drink, even alcohol. Attractions are open, special character appearances are there, just tons of stuff to do, all completely just to celebrate them. You don't pay for this. And usually, just the people who go and their guests get invited, but in a not common move, Disney invited a little bit of media down to check it out. So we were there to check it out, and I was so excited to be there. My favorite part was just seeing how big a deal this was to a lot of the guests that were there. Some of them got really dressed up. And I talked to quite a few people. Disney was kind enough to say, hey, if you want to talk to someone, just let us know. We'll go over. We'll make sure they're okay with it because, this is their night. We want to impose. And if they're okay with it, you can go ahead and talk to them. And so there were quite a few people I went and talked to. And, my favorite was a woman. I didn't include her, unfortunately, because it was a little hard to communicate. But she was my favorite lady I met. She works in the kitchen at the Grand Californian. I think she was celebrating 20 years, and she was dressed so nicely and just so excited to be there. You could tell how much she loved her job, loved her coworkers, loved creating magic. And I say creating magic, she works in the kitchen, but everyone is involved in creating the magic. And I love talking to her. I talked to someone else, a couple who were, really, really dressed up. You just thought they were going to like Spago or something. That still exists. And does that still exist? That's like
an old man fancy restaurant reference.
Doobie, I do have to say you got to meet one of my all-time favorite characters, John Van Winkle.
I will definitely mention John Van Winkle. But he works backstage. It sounded like it was really loud when I was talking to him, but fueling vehicles, but this is service night and Disney is celebrating us and we're proud to work for Disney and we're out here having a great time. I had the time of my life just seeing all these people. Here's a little collage of some of the other people I talked to, including our friend in the bottom right, who we've known since he worked at Summer Tree, the place that Great Maple used to be. And he's now celebrating 25 years working at the Grand Californian. He's one of their 2 master sommeliers there. And I can't believe little Dondi down here, the New England Patriots fan, is celebrating 25 years.
Wow.
So
I can't believe we've known him that long, and that he's celebrating 25 years. It's been fun to watch his career-wise. Now he's this master sommelier. So cool.
And I got to talk to a couple of people. Disney arranged a couple of interviews for me. One was the vice president of operations at Disney California Adventure, who happens to be Brent Davies, who to me is a cruise director. Seen him, known him as a cruise director forever, so was really excited to get to see him in his current role and talk to him. And before we started rolling, I just started talking to him about cruising and Disney Wish and all that, and that was a lot of fun. And then I also got to talk to John Van Winkle, who was celebrating 35 years, I believe. And I started in custodial, now works in cast activities. His department puts on this event, so it was fun hearing how he said his staff wanted him to enjoy it. So they did not tell him the stuff they were planning and all of that. They just kind of took over this event so he could enjoy the event like any other guest, since it's his department, but he was celebrating his 35 years with the company. So loved talking to everyone, seeing all the cool stuff Disney does. They even got a special World of Color that they got to see at the end of the night. It was just really cool, kind of emotional, actually, to see the celebration that Disney does for their cast. Go ahead.
Oh, no, and then you said they did a special display on the Carthay?
Yeah, so for those who are celebrating 40 or more years, which is just insane, they got their face up there on Carthay Circle. It's just a constantly going slideshow showing them. And then they also had a special reception inside. So, everyone got to enjoy the park. They got dinner in Carthay Circle.
Oh,
Just amazing. Disneyland Resort President Ken Potrock addressed everyone, each group individually. But before all of that, he addressed this group inside, gave a toast. I got to go in there while they were having the cocktail hour, which was really cool. Everyone just kind of there mingling, nice drinks, appropriate for Carthay Circle. And then, they went upstairs to have actual dinner, and that's when, we left and saw
Like
the rest of the
Spago.
park.
The
Yes.
amount of hospitality knowledge and know-how in that park that night is just overwhelming to me, because I mean, hospitality industry, nobody does it better than Disney, right? And people who have been there for 40, 30, 20 years. I mean, they know something about how you make a customer feel like a guest.
So great night. I'm so happy I got to go. To my shock, I came back and told Benji about it. He's never even been to one. So look at me. Thank you, Disney, very much for the invite. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope I did it justice on Laughing Place. Let me give you guys the link in the chat if you want to go check that out. Please check that out, because these people deserve it. And they're the ones that make the magic for us, and I'm glad they got a chance to have the magic made for them on that day. Yep. Anything else here? Anybody want to mention?
Yeah, I have an update on this Jeff Lang DVD. It was handed to me during a stream.
Huge. Huge.
It has 3 different versions of the Electrical Parade and the Electrical Water Pageant at Walt Disney World. I thought for sure this would have predated YouTube, but it's actually 2008 is when this was released. So a couple years after YouTube had been around, but I'm sure YouTube eclipsed this kind of thing pretty quickly. But yeah, from jefflangdvd.com.
Yeah.
Is that still there?
It's still there. Nothing is really active. I think the last April was the last time anything was posted. And this is Jeff just shooting his videos and putting them out there for sale.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, thanks for joining us. Tomorrow, another big day. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific to do our morning show, which is back. And then I think, what did we call this? Free Show Tuesday, Barely Necessities at 4 p.m. Pacific. And then Disney Trivia Live at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. So, but this is the last time I've got to do this. Oh my goodness, I'm so low on time, but we've got to do this. 1 year ago today, Bob Chapek was out. Bob Iger was in. Jeremiah, much like any major event, where were you when this happened?
I was driving back from Olive Garden. I'd pulled into my driveway. My phone had vibrated so many times in between Olive Garden and my driveway. And then as soon as I pulled in, I pulled out my phone and was just in shock.
Mike, I know you actually had the privilege of telling our CEO.
I did. I was here at my in-laws in Maryland, and I think I found out from I want to say Kyle, and he said, "Do you know if Benji knows?" And I said, "I don't know." And I just messaged him, "Do you know the news?" And he said, "What news?" And I said, "Chapek out, Iger in," was the famous text.
We did.
We
need
were
a frame of that text.
we were at Knott's Berry Farm at a little candy shop just outside the park. There in the little marketplace area, and we thought it was a joke when we first saw it. We were like, "Oh, this is one of those, silly clickbait headlines." And then the phone started buzzing, and then we were like, "Wait, maybe we need to look into this more." And wow, okay, it is
Sure
actual. So yeah.
Wow, 1 year ago. Hard to believe. Actually, it seems like longer. A lot has happened in this year. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Everyone on this panel, who we will not see again until after the Thanksgiving holiday, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. All of our viewers out there, have a great Thanksgiving.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
And we will be back next Monday. Take care.